Hey there fellow cake friends, and welcome to this spray rose tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to make these lovely little spray roses. If you want more sugar flower and cake videos, don't forget to subscribe right down there and give me a big thumbs up. And without further delay, let's get to the tutorial. This is an awesome flower to start if you're a beginner. It's really easy. Head to the description box below to grab my full tool list and ingredient list for these spray roses. I'll give you a quick rundown of what you need first. You're going to need 3 sizes of easy spray rose cutters and a small Calyx cutter. You'll need your foam mat, rolling pin, and needle nose pliers, your ball tool, your veining tool, a toothpick, hooked 22 gauge wires. You're going to need sugar filler colors in yellow, pink, peach, and gooseberry, which you're going to use to color your gum pastes. You'll need your gum glue with a brush, shortening, cornstarch, a block of styrofoam, and a double piece of plastic wrap. This is my white gum paste which you'll need, and then you'll grab some dusts and 2 flat brushes. And don't forget to grab my free gum paste recipe in the description box below. And with that, let's get to the flowers. We'll start with the centers. Grab 22 gauge wires and cut them in thirds, hook the ends, and close it. Next, you'll grab a small piece of white gum paste and knead it. Then tear off a smaller piece. Don't forget to cover your gum paste as you work. Roll that into a smooth ball and then gently roll it into a cone. Grab one of your 22 gauge wires and dip the hooked end into the gum glue and wipe off any excess. Insert it into the fat end of your cone, then pinch and smooth out the bottom and reshape it if necessary. You'll know it's the right size if you take your smallest cutter and measure from the center to one of the outer petals. It should be 1 or 2 millimeters smaller. Allow that to dry for at least 24 hours. Start with your darkest coral gum paste. If you want to see how I color coral ombre gum paste, check out my gum paste ranunculus video. Knead and roll out the gum paste to fit the width of your pasta machine. Roll your gum paste through the pasta machine starting at setting number 1 and going all the way up to setting number 5. Using your smallest rose cutter, cut out 1 blossom for each flower you intend to make. If you want a cleaner cut, rub the cutter on your hand and it'll get rid of any excess. Make sure to cover all your petals as you work. Roll out your medium color in the same way and cut out 1 medium blossom for each flower you're going to make. I always make a few extras just in case. Repeat the process with your lightest color using the largest cutter. You'll need 1 bud per flower, and once you have all your petals cut out, you can get started with shaping them. Start with one of your small blossoms and soften the edges using your large ball tool. Using your veiner, texture each petal by rolling it across. I have a link to the veiner and the rest of the tools I'm using in the description box, so go check that out. Flip your blossom over and flatten out the petals. You'll use your gum glue and apply it fully to your first and your third petals if you're counting clockwise. Remember your petal numbers because we're going to be using that throughout the flower. Apply a V of gum glue to the remaining petals. Grab one of your centers and thread the blossom onto your wire. Wrap your first petal, and if you're looking at the flower from the outside, the right side will be attached and the left side will be left open. Next, wrap your third petal and tuck the right side into the open space. The left side should also be open. Wrap these two petals tightly around each other, creating a tight bud, and then you can start adding your other petals, starting with 5, then 4, and finally 2. Pull the left sides of each of these petals around to tighten the bud, and then just smooth out the bottom. Using a toothpick and your index finger, grab the very edge of the petal and roll it outward to open the petals. Adjust them, then you can place this into your styrofoam block as you work on the rest of the petals. Repeat the same process of softening and texturing your next blossom. This will be your medium-sized petal. Apply a V of gum glue to each of the petals. Thread this blossom on and apply your petals, starting with number 5, then 4, then you'll tuck number 2 in, and you'll apply number 1 and 3 on the outside. Using your toothpick again, create an upside down V with the outside petals. Then after you're done, you can kind of play around and have fun with the other ones, rolling some of them outwards and some of them inwards. Just create a natural look. Comment down below and tell me the first sugar flower you ever made, and if you haven't made one yet, tell me the first one you want to make. Alright, so I'm happy with the way this one looks. Just do a few pinches here and there, and then we'll get on to the last petal. With your final blossom, soften the edges, texture it, and you'll apply the gum glue in a V shape to all the petals again. So you can grab your flower, and then we'll be applying the petals number 5 first, then 4, then number 2, and then lastly put number 1 and number 3 on the outside of the flower. Grab your toothpick and shape these petals outwards similarly to the ones we did before, and kind of give them an organic feel. Take a look at some spray rose photos on Google and that should help you. Give it a few pinches here and there until you're happy with the way it looks. Dry your flowers horizontally for 24 hours. And once all your flowers are dry, you're ready to dust. You'll need a spoon and a knife. You'll need to secure your parchment with some tape to your work surface, 2 flat brushes, some cornstarch, and petal dust, which I will tell you the colors in just a second. Add about a tablespoon of cornstarch onto your parchment paper, and the petal dust we're using are yellow, orange, hot pink, coral, moss green, and a darker green. Add a small amount of each dust to your work surface. Brush a small amount of cornstarch towards your colors and begin mixing all the warmer colors, starting with the yellow, then moving on to the orange, and then you can slowly add in a little bit of hot pink and also the coral. You're going for a color that's just darker than the center of your flower. Apply the dust heavily to the center and lighter in the crevices of your whole flower. Then finally you can dust all the edges. Mix your 2 green colors with a bit of cornstarch and brush that onto any edges of your flower, especially the damaged ones, because you really want to bring those out and you want it to look imperfect and natural. Once you're finished dusting all the flowers, we can get to the calyxes. So need a small amount of gooseberry green gum paste. You can get my gum paste recipe in the description box below and see the instructions on creating deep colors. Roll the gum paste in the same way we did before to a number 5 on the pasta machine and cut out your calyxes, one for each flower that you're making. Soften the edges of each calyx using your large ball tool. Then, using your medium ball tool, pull each side inwards. Apply gum glue to all 5 sides and then thread them onto your flower. Gently press the calyx on. It doesn't have to be fully attached, but make sure it's not going to fall off. And once you're finished all the calyxes for each of your flowers, we can get to the taping. Start near the top with half-width dark green floral tape and stretch it out so you activate the glue. Roll 1 centimeter or 2 down and then press the tape up to touch the calyx and continue taping all the way down your stem. When you get to the end, tear off the piece and wrap the end tightly. Repeat with the rest of your flowers. If you want to make a spray of flowers, you can tape some stems together. First, you'll want to soften the stems so that it's not so rigid looking. Then stagger your flowers so that they're not on the same level. And just tape in the same way you did before, all the way down the stem, tearing at the end. Leave me a comment below and tell me if you learned anything new in this tutorial. And that's it. You're all finished with your beautiful spray roses. I've taught you the steps to make these spray roses, but head down to the description box below and you can grab my gum paste recipe and all the tools and ingredients you're going to need to make your own. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to subscribe right down there. Leave me a comment and give me a big thumbs up, and maybe even share it with a friend who would enjoy it. Thanks for watching. See you soon.